Take a deep, slow breath. Drop your shoulders. If you are listening to this right now, chances are your heart feels incredibly heavy. Your relationship, the place that is supposed to feel like home, feels shaky, unsafe, uncertain. You might be lying in bed staring at the ceiling, or sitting in your car trying to hide your tears. I want you to know right now, it is okay to feel exhausted. It is completely normal to feel terrified of losing what you've built, while simultaneously feeling too tired to keep fighting the same battles over and over again. In this space today, we aren't going to point fingers. We aren't going to talk about blame, or who won the last argument, or who said the more painful thing. Instead, we are going to create a sanctuary of healing. We are going to look at why things are shaking, how to gently steady the ground beneath your feet, and how to heal a bond that feels like it's slipping through your fingers. When a house experiences an earthquake, the foundation doesn't instantly vanish. It cracks under pressure. But cracks can be filled. Foundations can be reinforced. If both you and your partner still carry even a tiny ember of love for each other, there is a path forward. Let's walk through that path together, step by step, softly and patiently. To heal a wound, we first have to understand where it hurts without pulling it apart further. Relationships don't start shaking overnight. It is usually a slow accumulation of unspoken needs, micro-disappointments, and emotional distance that builds up over months or even years. Let's look at the two types of shaking you might be experiencing right now. The first is a structural break. This happens when something major shatters the framework of trust. It could be infidelity, financial secrets, or a massive broken promise. If your relationship is shaking because of a structural break, the healing process requires a complete rebuild from the ground up. It requires time, radical honesty, and a willingness from the person who broke the trust to bear the weight of the repair. The second type, and the one that quietly dismantles most couples, is a growth phase friction. This is when your old habits, your old ways of communicating, and your old dynamics no longer fit who you are today. People change. You change. Your partner changes. When two people grow but forget to update the rules of their connection, they start bumping heads. You begin to feel like you are speaking two completely different languages. Think about it right now. Is your relationship shaking because a boundary was violently broken, or is it shaking because you've slowly drifted into a space of emotional starvation? When we lack emotional connection, our brains enter a state of panic. We start seeing our partner not as our teammate, but as our opponent. Every sigh they make feels like a rejection. Every unwashed dish becomes a symbol of how little they care. If you are stuck in this loop, I want you to forgive yourself. You aren't crazy, and you aren't failing. You are just lonely. And loneliness in a shared bed is the heaviest kind of loneliness there is. Let's look at how we can stop the cycle of panic. The very first step to healing a shaking relationship is to stop the bleeding. You cannot rebuild a bridge while dynamite is still exploding on it. Right now, your relationship's nervous system is highly activated. You are both on high alert, waiting for the next spark to ignite a massive fire. When we are in this state of survival, the logical part of our brain completely shuts down. We don't listen to understand, we listen to defend. We use words like weapons because we are trying to protect our own hurting hearts. To break this cycle, you must introduce the concept of the sacred timeout. A sacred timeout is a mutual agreement made during a quiet, peaceful moment, not during a fight. You sit down, or send a gentle text, and say, "I love you, and because I love you, I don't want us to hurt each other anymore." The next time our voices rise or we feel overwhelmed, let's agree to say the word pause. When either of you says pause, the conversation stops immediately. No final insults. No parting shots. You physically separate for at least 20 minutes. Go into different rooms. Drink a glass of water. Go for a walk. Do not use this time to rehearse your next argument in your head. Instead, use this time to soothe your body. Focus on your breathing. Remind yourself, my partner is not my enemy. They are hurting, and I am hurting. When 20 minutes have passed, and your heart rate has returned to normal, you come back together. Not to finish the argument, but to ask a simple, gentle question: what do you need right now to feel safe? This simple shift pulls both of you out of survival mode and puts you back on the same team. Once the immediate storm has calmed down, we have to look at the words we use. The way we speak to each other during a crisis either builds a wall or opens a door. Most couples fall into the trap of you-centered accusations. It sounds like this: you never make time for me. You always forget what's important. You are cold. When your partner hears the word you, their brain instantly prepares for battle. They immediately start compiling a list of all the things you did wrong to counter your attack. To heal, we must completely banish you statements and adopt vulnerable I statements. Instead of saying, "You never talk to me anymore," try saying, "I miss you. I feel really disconnected lately, and I'm scared we are drifting apart." Do you hear the difference in how that feels? The first statement is an attack. The second is an invitation. An attack forces a shield to go up. Vulnerability invites your partner to step closer and comfort you. It takes immense courage to show someone where you are bleeding rather than throwing a punch, but it is the only language that can pierce through resentment. Let's practice a few more shifts in our minds right now. Instead of, "You are always on your phone," try, "I would love to have just 15 minutes of uninterrupted time with you tonight because your presence makes me feel grounded." Instead of, "You're so defensive," try, "I feel like I'm failing to explain myself clearly. Can we try this again? I really want to understand your side too." When you shift the axis of the conversation from you versus me to you and me versus the distance, the entire energy in the room changes. You give your partner the permission to drop their armor. When the armor comes down, the healing can finally begin. When a relationship is in deep trouble, we often think we need massive, dramatic gestures to fix it. We think we need a luxurious vacation, a grand public apology, or an expensive date night. But the truth is, major events cannot sustain a fragile bond. Relationships are built, maintained, and healed in the tiny, microscopic spaces of ordinary days. Think of emotional connection like a bank account. A crumbling relationship is simply an account that is deeply overdrawn. You cannot fix a massive debt with one single deposit. You fix it by making small, consistent, daily deposits over time. We call these micro-connections. A micro-connection is a 5-second gesture that signals to your partner's subconscious mind, "I see you. You still matter to me." It is a long, lingering hug in the kitchen before you leave for work, one where you hold on until both of your bodies relax. It is sending a text in the middle of a busy day that simply says, "Thinking of you. I hope your day is gentle." It is pouring their cup of coffee exactly how they like it, and leaving it on their desk without saying a word. It is looking them in the eyes when they speak to you, even if it's just for 2 minutes, and actively nodding along. These small moments require almost zero energy, which is perfect because you are already exhausted. But their cumulative effect is profound. They quietly rewrite the underlying script of your relationship. They replace the background noise of hostility with a gentle hum of safety. If you are listening to this alone, and your partner isn't ready to do the deep emotional work yet, start with these micro connections yourself. Be the source of warmth first. Often, when one person stops pulling away and begins to offer tiny, non-threatening olive branches of peace, the other person's survival walls naturally begin to crumble. As we draw our time together to a close today, I want to leave you with a reminder to be incredibly gentle with yourself. Healing a shaking relationship is not a linear path. It is a journey of 2 steps forward and 1 step back. There will be days when you do everything right. You use your I statements, you take your timeouts, and an argument still happens. That does not mean your progress is gone. It just means you are human. A recovering relationship is like a broken bone that has been reset. It will feel tender, sore, and fragile for a while before it becomes strong again. Give your relationship the grace of time. You didn't drift apart in a single week, so do not expect to fuse back together in a weekend. Focus entirely on the present moment. Don't worry about next month, or next year, or forever. Just focus on how you can bring a tiny bit of softness, safety, and kindness into your home today. Thank you for spending this quiet time with me. If your heart feels even a fraction lighter after listening to this, please consider subscribing to this channel. This is a safe space where we will continue to explore the quiet, beautiful, and healing depths of human connection. Leave a comment below if you feel comfortable sharing just a single word about how you are feeling right now. I read every single one, and I am holding space for your healing. Until next time, take care of your heart, and be gentle with each other.